I'm your host, David Sang. On tonight's show, we'll be discussing the crime against humanity that is child soldiers in Africa. Why are children being used as child soldiers in Africa, and what influences and effects are inflicted on a kid fighting in war? In the world's second largest continent, Africa, kids ranging from the ages 8 to 15 years old are being used to take part in an armed force group. This occurs all over in Africa in places such as Uganda, Congo, and Sierra Leone. Not only do kids participate in shooting guns, they can be used as sex slaves, spies, and cooks. Kids from poor and unprivileged families who are seeking financial support, a home, and to avenge their losses are all the reason why a child might want to join an armed force group. When men come from war, they return with side effects, ranging from trauma exposure, post-traumatic stress disorder, and brain damage. Imagine a 10-year-old child carrying those effects. Kids in Africa are being used as child soldiers because they're young and naive. And when they fight in wars, they develop effects that could scar their lives forever. This is a problem because thousands of kids are being abducted to become trained killers, and they end up being killed in battle or come home with a new, different mentality. When they are recruited, the armed forces group make it impossible to say no. As noted in the Child Soldiers Peace Education Reconstruction for Peace, it says, to terrorize villages and break the bonds between the children and villagers, the LRA often forces children to kill the family members or other villagers at the time of their abduction. Children are forced to kill their own family before they are taken away, and when they return home, they have no one to look after them because they're dead. Kids to look after themselves for the rest of their life. Not only do the kids lose their family, but their sense of innocence and childhood is taken away from them. The kids grow up not knowing how a normal child is supposed to act, and grow up with no education that will allow them to become successful in the future. They're only taught one thing and one thing only, and that is to kill. Kids are recruited because sometimes there may not be enough adults to fight in the war. They are easily intimidated, manipulated, and obedient. Unlike adults, they do not demand salaries. The kids that join are usually poor, homeless, and starving. In the article Child Soldiers Forced to Fight, it says, one of the primary factors in the use of children as soldiers is extreme poverty. In developing nations, parents may be so desperate for food and medical treatment that they will sell their children to armed militias. In other instances, children volunteer themselves out of a desire for a regular meal and the illusion of protection. Poverty is very important to a child's decision to join. Wanting to live a better lifestyle than in poverty, kids will most likely want to join. When they are offered to join an armed force group that offers shelter, food, a little cash, without a doubt, they are going to join. The origins of child soldiers can be traced back to the early 1980s. Multiple countries in Africa found out that they could use kids to fight the battles they couldn't. 4 feet tall murder machines that require little pay and can overthrow villages, what a deal. The most popular and active armed force group is the Lord Resistance Army. In the 1980s, Joseph Kony takes over the LRA and attempts to overthrow the Uganda government. However, he fails, and in frustration, he abducts children. According to the U.S. Department of State, a site that covers worldwide problems occurring in the past and present, it states that a 2006 study formed by the United Nations of Children Fund estimated that at least 66,000 children and youth had been abducted by the LRA between 1986 and 2005. This shows how massive this crime against humanity has risen since it started occurring in Africa. Child soldiers in Africa is still happening today and shows no sign of stopping unless we take action. I'm David Sig, and I'm reporting from the villages of Uganda. I came here today to visit my dear friend Priska, who is a former child soldier of the LRA, Joseph Kony's group. She was abducted when she was only 9 years old by Kony's rebels. Here is her story.
My name is Laia Priska. I came from Kitgum. I'm 19 years old. When the war have been taken there in Kitgum, the one rebel come and catch me. I take long there, 2 months and 9 years at the bush, so that I am not get time to study. Because of that, I stop in P5. We go in our home, we find my mom and my dad. They are together, sitting together. But someone told to those rebels, my dad have pistol, but he didn't have. They asked him, you give that what you have. My dad say, I don't have anything. But they say those men refuse to give him this thing. And they kill my dad. My mother start crying, also they kill her. They give me a woman. You kill this woman. Yeah, for me, I say I can't manage to kill this woman. They say the 2 options, either you or this woman, one, we want to kill it. If you refuse to kill this woman, we will kill you. For me, I say, maybe you kill me, because I can't manage to kill that man. But they force me. They don't want even to kill me. They say, you kill. We count 3. I pray in my heart, God, you forgive me. This is not my choice. They are not my need. Even I told to that woman, do not think I'm the one who kill you, but it is not my need. Yeah. And I killed that woman without done me something wrong. But that thing, it happened in my life, it is not good. Sometimes if I sleep, it comes onto my mind. But I pray, it's not only one I kill many. They give us panga and you cut, we cut. They give us that gun, it is your gun. If you will let it get lost, also they will kill you.
Number 2, go.
There are an estimate of 250,000 child soldiers around the world today. There are still sick-minded people like Joseph Kony who are still abducting kids. Conflicts in Africa are the many reasons why a child soldier is still existing today. Maybe we could end the use of this conflict if sort of. Alright, ready? There are an estimate of 250,000 child soldiers in Africa today. There are still sick-minded people like Joseph Kony who are still abducting kids. Conflicts in Africa are the many reasons why a child soldier is still existing today. We could probably stop this crime if we ended the conflicts that the child soldiers have to participate in. International Criminal Court has issued arrest warrants to these criminals and the leaders of the LRA. There are also numerous organizations such as War Child who are trying to raise money to get kids out of uniforms and into schools. You can help contribute to the end of this crime against humanity by donating to www.warchild.org. I'm your host, David Sang. Good night.